Coach, they obviously went on a strong run to close the third quarter. What did you see during that 20-2 stretch that swung the game?
Turnovers. Turnovers they led to probably 9 points quickly. Not taking care of the basketball, giving them easy baskets. And with this team, live ball turnovers is tough. You're not getting those back. So our ability to take care of the basketball, 17 turns for 22 points. Our intensity and our focus was good for 36 minutes, but we could play a 48-minute game, and we've got to be better there. And that's what I think was the reasoning behind it.
Jamal, kind of on that point, I think since Christmas, you guys are about 5-21 when being outscored in the third quarter. Just whether it's the turnovers like it was tonight or other issues, what do you see as kind of the issue out of halftime right now?
I mean, the last two games we've actually been okay. Again, but tonight it was not the case. Couple quick fouls. They got their aggression was better coming out of the halftime. We turned it over a few times, got some easy baskets. So you pound that on into not making shots, it builds again, and that's our resiliency there. We continue to grow with that and learn from it because there's not many left. So you've got to understand exactly what you need to do in these moments.
Matt, you guys obviously got another big game from Paolo, and Franz still got to 20 points. But what do you need to see from Franz? It seems like he's kind of out of rhythm a little bit with some of those floaters and mid-range shots that he's usually pretty reliable on. Is it just kind of hitting a little bit of a wall here, or what do you?
No, I think he made those shots in Charlotte. And he made those in with the Lakers. So I think one game, you're not judging it far on that much. They didn't go in tonight, and I think we have to look at that. But it wasn't the fact that those shots didn't go in that was the reason behind it. I think the reasoning behind us is the fact that we had 17 turnovers for 22 points. So you gave them easy baskets. When you don't knock threes down, when you're getting open looks, it deflates you, and those are also easy runouts for transition baskets, so you're not able to set your defense as the ball goes through the hoop.
Jonathan didn't see the floor until Wendell and Paolo both got in some foul trouble late in the first half, and he only played 6 minutes tonight. I'm just curious, I think I've asked about this before, but just recently, what's gone into his minutes or lack of minutes, and I know you talk about the matchups, but just trying to better understand.
Yeah, and that's a really good question. And so what we've talked about in this stretch as a playoff look and matchups and timing of different rotations, they went full small ball. And so the ability to have one big on the floor at a time is very important. But also when he played those minutes, it was, we went with both. But I think it's going to continue to stay with matchups on any given night. I think that's going to be very important as we come down the stretch.
You harp on the turnovers obviously being an Achilles heel for you guys tonight, and rightfully so. Anything else specifically from your team tonight stand out to you as to what attributed to the loss?
I could go to 16% from the three. I think that's a big portion of it. Those shots that we getting good looks. Again, and those long shots equal long rebounds, and they were taking some of those and right off on the break, getting out in transition, which flattened our defense out, and we got to make sure we're sprinting back, to build walls and not let them get easy baskets.
Paolo again with 35 points. It's his fifth straight game, I think, with 30-plus points, and we understand he's on this incredible roll. What do you need to do, or what does the team need to do to make sure he's getting the support? He's obviously seeing a lot of double teams and a lot of attention. What needs to happen to kind of give him the support to let him be him, but kind of lift the rest of the team up?
As we're going to continue to need him to do is keep making the right play. Finding the open teammates. I mean, he's found guys quite a few times, tonight, and I think those are open looks, and I think we've just got to continue to step in with confidence and knock them down. We've had 2 games where we shot the ball really well, and this was one of those nights we didn't. And so when you see that, you're not going to overreact to it, but understand where we are in the season. We need to have a little more sense of urgency in the case, whether shots are falling or they're not, because we still have to make the right play, trust that process, and play our brand of basketball.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks.
P, they went on that 20-2 run to close out the third quarter. What did you see during that stretch that kind of allowed them to flip the game?
I just think they was pushing the pace. They had some guys come off the bench and play great, and they just outplayed us really in the second half of the third quarter.
Paolo, kind of on that point, you guys are 5-21 when being outscored in the third quarter since Christmas. Is there something that you can point to maybe that is causing so many struggles in the third quarter specifically?
Not really. I feel like it's been a common issue, and it's been biting us in the ass. But I can't really pinpoint one thing.
Another game where you score 30 or more points. Obviously, you're kind of in a rhythm. What more do you feel you need to do, or the team needs to do to kind of take advantage of this? Obviously, you've taken advantage of this run, but in a game like tonight, what more needs to be done to take advantage of a night like this?
I just think we could have been better about getting into our offense quicker. Just figuring out what we're trying to do. I feel like we weren't really running as much tonight. We weren't getting out and running. We weren't pushing the pace. We was kind of letting them dictate the pace of the game, and just feel like the communication was a little spotty out there. So could have been better on that.
You kind of mentioned it there. Like, you guys have been focused on pushing the pace. I think turnovers have generally been down over the last few weeks. How do you kind of make sure that remains the character of your team? You don't maybe fall back into bad habits that led to some of the losing a month ago or so.
I think that playing slow is going to create more chances to turn the ball over for us, and that's why I believe that the faster we play, the better. Because it just limits everybody's decision time and just gives guys quicker reads out there on the floor. And so I think with us playing slow came us turning the ball over, came us not shooting well from three, and not really having a great offensive night. So I think we just have to make it a concerted effort to just push the pace on offense.
Was it something Dallas did tonight, or did you guys just why do you think you guys played slower than the past few games where you guys have had success playing faster?
I don't know. I just think it was a funky game a little bit. I think it started off, it was like 2-2, with like 6 minutes, went off the clock, still 2-2. So it was just a funky game for everybody. But we have to be able to shake that off and get back to doing what we do, which we weren't really able to do.
Thank you.
Yep.